too long have we been pinned, crushed, and killed. It's time we show carnivores what fear is. Our story begins with an egg. I hatched into a big stego family. I also inherited some nice mutations, including prolific reproduction, which lets me grow a little bit faster. But I still had a lot of growing to do if I wanted to try and survive this big and dangerous world. Eventually, it was time to leave our parents and go on our own adventure. I'd grown to a decent size, and while eating in Delta, a Tenanto approached me. I don't know why he bonked me on the head, but I wasn't gonna let that slide. But after missing a couple of my attacks, I decided I'd have to be more conservative for my stamina. I managed to get a big hit on the Tenno, but then his friend showed up. Suddenly, this fight had become way more difficult. I was trying to be very careful. Their kicks hurt a lot, and do some pretty good bleed too. I didn't even have tactile endurance yet, so I was really low on stamina now. I tried getting on some rocks in hopes that would help me, but they followed wherever I went. Things were not looking good for this stego. As a last-ditch effort, I decided I would try to run away. And with one more hit on me, I was now on the brink of death. I had to get out of there. With my blood very low, I decided to try and sit down in a bush and hope they wouldn't find me. They got very close to me, but they didn't end up spotting me. So I barely managed to survive this encounter. That was pretty scary. I'd heal up a bit, and then I'd start traveling the map. But eventually I heard a bunch of noises coming from some bushes, so I went to check it out. And turns out there was a Rex sitting in this bush. After a little bit, I decided to just leave, since he didn't want to leave his bush. Then I confidently strolled through West Rail. Probably not the brightest idea, but all that was really there were these two Carnos. For some reason, they wanted to try and fight me. And eventually, I managed to get a power swing on one of them. Now he was really worried. That bleed will definitely kill him if he can't sit down. So I just chased him for a little while. Eventually he just collapsed on the floor. Shortly after, a big group of Stegos arrived. But then they warned me about some big Rexes up ahead. These guys were Rex hunters, and seeing them all run after them, I decided to join in. We all followed the Rexes to the beach. Even though not all of us were fully grown, 5 Stegos is just way too much to fight. And eventually we caught up to one of them. That Rex died so fast. But that was fun. And honestly, I wanted more. But first, we'd need to grow bigger. While I was near Highlands, a big fight was going down. So I walked over and sat down just to watch the fight. And there was even a Maya that came to watch too. Eventually the Rex killed the trike. It was a fun bit of entertainment while I was growing. I was now in Delta and big enough to fight some Rexes, but I was about to get ambushed. Yeah, turns out that was an admin. They like to do a little trolling. But since I couldn't find anyone to fight in Delta, I went back to a much more dangerous area. And today, this area was extra dangerous. I noticed a Rex on the beach. Wait, 2 Rexes. Once I saw that, I ran to that rock as quickly as I could. Otherwise, without that rock, I don't think I'll stand a chance. They quickly noticed me and started trying to find their way up. This was terrifying. A combined 24 tons trying to kill me. I will hold my ground against these Rexes. They were finding it difficult finding a good spot to try and attack me, and eventually I even got a free hit. But soon, I'd be hurting too. But this spot gave me a big advantage, which I definitely needed. And I was able to get some extra hits. They were starting to feel the bleed, and while they were healing it up, I was slowly healing my fracture damage. I saw that they were very separated now. And once the green one sat down, I saw that as my opportunity to go full offensive. Once he was running away a bit, I quickly decided to run back to my rock, thinking the other Rex was on its way to help. But he wasn't. So I was able to get back to my rock in time. They were both hurting now, and even though the little Rex was encouraging them, it wouldn't help. The hunters became the hunted, and they were about to learn what fear is. I was starting to feel really confident in this fight, and started dishing out swing after swing. My stamina wasn't the greatest though, so whenever I had a chance, I tried to recover some. If my stamina gets too low, they'll be able to do a half pin on me instantly. while the other one was sitting, I had an idea. I was going to try and pretend I was going for the one that was sitting, but actually, I was going to try and hit the green one that would probably come to his aid. I managed to take both of them down. That was a very epic fight, and I was really proud of that. The kings of the island had been dethroned. I went to Highlands for a bit to refuel and get all my diets back because I was almost out. And then I went right back to West Rail. I was hearing quite some commotion, and I wanted to go check it out. And then I saw a big Rex coming over the hill. With my newfound confidence, I was ready for a brawl. I messed up quite a bit at the start, but then I got some really good hits on him. I chased him into the woods, and eventually he turned to fight. I managed to kill him, but that fight was pretty close, to be honest. I messed up quite a bit in that fight. I don't know why I was doing a power swing and then a normal swing over and over when I could have just been doing power swings the whole time. Panic sometimes makes you do weird things. I started moving towards the beach and towards South Plains. I know that there is often a lot of Rexes in the south area, but this time I couldn't find any. And while I was coming back to West Rail, I saw something in the corner of my eye. I decided to stay there and pretend I didn't know he was there, but he wasn't coming out, so eventually I came to him. It was only a subadult Rex, but my spikes aren't picky. We were doing a whole Tom and Jerry style chase around this tree, but eventually I was able to get some hits on him, and that got him worried enough to start running away. I chased him, and eventually he had nowhere to go. another Rex down, it was time for some more food, because keeping this large stomach full is not easy. I then decided I would do something don't think I've ever done before: nesting on Evrima. I don't recall ever doing it myself, and I wanted to give it a shot for the first time. So I started gestating some eggs and eating to refill my food. While I was doing that, a new challenger had approached. And I'll happily take that fight. I started off pretty strong, but sadly, because of the glass bones bug, I already had glass bones, which means after just 2 crushes, I was already bone broken. But that wouldn't stop me from being able to defend myself. The Rex started running away. I guess he must have been bleeding pretty bad. And because I was bone broken, I couldn't really chase him very well, but I was still gonna try. Eventually, out of stamina, I decided to just sit down. But that seemed to make the Rex want to continue. I was able to get 2 more hits on him, but pinning doesn't give you any stamina back, so once again I was just waddling behind him. This went on for a little bit, and eventually I just gave up and sat down. Then, this player Andy grew a stego to 50% just so I could nest, which was really nice of them. So, we went looking for a nice spot. They took me to this spot, which had a nice view. So we made ourselves a nest. And eventually, we got our first baby. It was fun nesting for the first time. Though sadly, not many people seem to want some stego eggs. But we did get 1 more. Once they were big enough, one of them went off to sanctuary. And eventually, we walked the other one to the sanctuary ourselves. Little stegos have a cute waddle. Once we dropped them off at the sanctuary, I logged out. While I was getting my diets back, I stumbled upon something odd.
Help! Help me! Help!
Turns out those little dibbles weren't actually fighting and were just acting, but I was definitely pretty confused. But I managed to fill my food pretty much all the way and came back to West Rail once more. and there was Rex. But this Rex was not as big as I hoped. It looked like a late sub-adult. Though for some reason he was staying near me, as if he was planning to attack me. But once I started chasing him, he quickly decided I was probably a bit too big for that. I was 100% grown at this point, and didn't really want to entomb to grow all over again. So I started traveling to Delta in hopes maybe there were Rexes to fight over there instead. And I did find them. Confidently, I made it clear that I was not friendly, and they seemed to accept my challenge. I got that Rex very hurt, but I did mess up a little bit as well, and I'd used a lot of my stamina already. With the second crush, I was once again bone broken already. I got good damage on both of them, and I was pretty much out of stamina. I'll let the rest of the fight play out. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to let me know what you thought about it in the comments. And I hope I'll see you in the next one.